Hi, my name is Jezebel Milan, and today we're going to be talking about mental health. So, first, what is mental health? Well, mental health is our cognitive, behavioral, and emotional well being. Basically, it's how we think, act, and feel. It's our ability to handle life stressors and adapt to change over time. It also determines how we relate to others and make healthy decisions.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I'm with iFoster, and now I'm going to be talking about why is mental health important. Mental health is important because how you feel can affect your ability to carry out daily routines and relationships. Although it's rarely talked about, mental illnesses are very common. On average, a person could go 11 years with mental illness symptoms before they seek and receive treatment. Bad mental health days are normal, but they're not to be confused with a mental health crisis.
So, now we're going to be talking about emotional wellness. Now, what is emotional wellness? Well, emotional wellness can be identified as the way that we approach, react, and feel about day to day experiences. So, somebody that is emotionally well can handle stress, can identify and express their emotions, have regular eating habits, have good self esteem, self respect, and make healthy decisions and healthy choices. Somebody that is emotionally unwell, however, have an inability to cope with activities or basic changes. Sudden mood changes in or emotional states and changes in appetite, as well as physical pain or fatigue and substance abuse. These are the things that we can identify as somebody who is or might be emotionally unwell. These are things that we need to look out for to make sure that we are not expressing or that the people in our lives are not as well. So now I'm going to be talking about coping skills. Now, what are coping skills? Coping skills are tools that we use in order to calm us down from life's inevitable stressful situations. So it all starts with a stressor. And a stressor is an event or a newfound piece of information that causes a state of emotional distress, tension, or strain. Second, we have the reaction, an emotional or physical response to the stress. It's things like sweating, fidgeting, maybe getting a little itchy. These are all reactions to these things. And then we implement our coping skill. And our coping skill is a productive exercise or activity that one does to achieve calm and clarity. This can look like a lot of things. This can be like going for a hike or drawing, painting, something in that nature. Something that you can do that keeps you calm in that moment of stress. And then after we perform the coping skill, when the stress passes, it's important to reflect and deeply acknowledge our emotions. And it's also important to remember that healthy coping skills take time to see results, but the results are long lasting, while unhealthy coping skills feel good in the moment, but they have lasting negative effects on our body, minds, and well being overall.
Now I'm going to explain how to understand triggers. A trigger is anything that reminds you of a traumatic event, causing you to re experience symptoms from that trauma. This often happens to people with a history of trauma or who are recovering from mental illness. Triggers are unique things to each person because it's based on that person and their trauma. Just because you had the same traumatic experience doesn't exactly mean that you had the same trigger.
And in this infographic, we can see that 1 in 3 people experience a mental illness, 1 in 3 young adults ages 18 to 25. 1 in 10 will experience a severe mental illness. And per year, about 3.8 million young adults had serious thoughts of suicide, while 1 in 5 young people report that the pandemic had a significant negative effect on their mental health. 18% of adolescents and 23% of young adults. There's so many factors that could affect us just within our world alone. And then our internal world, mental health is something that we need a community to bring ourselves out of.
Now I'm going to be providing you guys with some crisis hotlines. The mental health crisis hotlines. The new number for suicide and crisis is 988. You can also reach out to them on their website or feel free to reach out to us for that link. Some states like California have specific crisis lines for youth in foster care, like FIRST, and their number is 833-939-3877, or go to cal-first.org. And lastly, There's Boys Town Hotline at www.boystown.org with counselors that understand foster care as well. Reach out to us for any more information or questions.
And for your mental health resources, please feel free to contact us here at iFoster. We'll be more than happy to help you with anything that you need for your mental health.
Now I'm going to be talking about what a mental health crisis is. A mental health crisis takes place when a person has trouble coping with or adjusting to stress in their life. A crisis can cause a sudden change in a person's behavior, and it may appear as if they may potentially put themselves or others in danger. A mental health crisis is not to be confused with a bad mental health day. Some symptoms include agitation, aggressive behavior, lack of energy or extreme energy, depression, substance abuse, suicidal thoughts, and etc. But a person doesn't have to have every symptom to be going through a crisis. Thanks everyone for listening. Don't forget to contact iFoster with questions.